children of the rainbow flag. We are cool, choose our loud and proud. No one's gonna stop us, we are here to stay. We are the cool choose of the rainbow flag. We are moving forward, moving on and on, never, never going back. We are moving forward, moving on and on, never, never going back. We keep fighting, fighting, fighting on and on, never, never gonna stop. We keep fighting, fighting, fighting on and on, never, never gonna stop. LGBTI, LGBTI, LGBTI. We are freedom fighters, fighting for the rise of the children of the rainbow flag. What are we fighting for? Fighting for our rights. What are we fighting for? Fighting for our rights. Yeah, tell me what we're fighting for. Fighting for our rights. Fighting for our rights to be. LGBTI. We are here to stay. LGBTI. We are here to stay. LGBTI. We are here to stay. Never going anywhere. The children of the rainbow flag. Yes, the children of the rainbow flag. Yeah, children of the rainbow flag. We are about to be the children of the rainbow flag. LGBTI, LGBTI, LGBTI. We are the children of the rainbow flag. We are cool, choose around and proud. No one's gonna stop us, we are here to stay. We are the children of the rainbow flag. We are moving forward, moving on and on, never, never going back. We are moving forward, moving on and on, never, never going back. Oh, we keep on fighting, fighting, fighting on and on, fighting, fighting. We keep on fighting, fighting, fighting on and on, never, never gonna stop.
Welcome again. Welcome our friends to yet another updates show. I told you we're going to have regular shows this week, more shows this week because of the upcoming protests globally for Block 13. So I request you to spend another 1 minute inviting your friends to come and join us, because we'll be talking about the 4 protests now that are registered for 1st September and some updates from Kakuma. MC Richie, I salute you, brother. Welcome today. So, friends, Kakuma especially, invite some of those people here for the next probably 40 seconds, and then we'll proceed. And also, Benon on Block 13, please kindly prepare your phone and lighting for updates from there on Block 13.
Children of the rainbow flag. We are about to be the children of the rainbow flag. LGBTI, LGBTI, LGBTI. We are the children of the rainbow flag. We are cool, choose around and proud. No one's gonna stop us, we are here to stay. We are the children of the rainbow flag. We are moving forward, moving on and on, never, never going back. We are moving moving on and on, never, never going back. Oh, we keep on fighting, 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 fighting. We keep on fighting, fighting, fighting on and on,
are we? What are we? What are we? Alrighty. Once again, I welcome you all to yet another update show on the Victor Mukasa show. I told you that this period, the focus is on Block 13. Block 13 where we have, that's Block 13 in Kakuma Camp, Kakuma Refugee Camp, where we have right now about 141 LGBT refugees stuck there. Of course, other refugees in Kakuma Camp, refugees who are under constant brutal attacks from other refugees in the camp due to homophobia and transphobia. Also attacks from the Turkana people in the area around Kakuma Camp, the natives, and also a lot of violations, human rights violations from the police, other security agents, as well as service providers. Now, these people are the responsibility of the UNHCR. The UNHCR has been called upon to evacuate these refugees from Kakuma Camp, which is not ready for sexual minorities, really. And to date, there has not been much response. No response, actually, from the UNHCR. As you know, they have actually dumped more people at Block 13 in the last 1 month, and also have brought in more refugees during this period of COVID-19 from Nairobi to Kakuma Camp. Now, I would like to thank all of you who are part of now what we call a global movement for Block 13. And in a general picture, a global movement for refugees, LGBT refugees in Kenya. That have been here and supporting. We've grown very, very slowly but surely, and now we are big for our siblings in Kakuma. Because of the silence and inaction of the UNHCR in way of updates, I'd like to inform and those who don't know that this global movement, with the help of dedicated activists all over, have now resulted, because we've written letters, we've done everything, we've done these updates, live shows, we've called on the UNHCR to act, but instead the situation is just getting worse. As we will hear from updates from Block 13, that even just in the last 3 days there have been attacks. Even yesterday there have been attempts. I'd like to tell you that we have global protests taking place on the 1st of September. Please mark the date. September 1st, we have global protests. So far, we have a protest that is confirmed in New York on September 1st. That is going to be from 4 to 6 p.m. at the UNHCR headquarters in New York. And that will be on 42nd Street. We have the details on Facebook pages, and we will be circulating those details. So, protest number 1 is in New York, 42nd Street, on September 1st, 4 to 6 p.m. We have protest number 2 is in Canada, in the city of Ottawa. Ottawa, and that is, which state is that? Somebody help me. Which state is that? Ottawa. It's Ontario. We have a protest there on 280 Albert Street. For those of you who are in Ontario, we have a protest on September 1st, 4 to 6, same time as New York, at 280 Albert Street. And that will also be UNHCR offices there. Protest number 3 that is confirmed is in San Francisco, USA. That will be on 39 Drum Street from 1 to 3 p.m. San Francisco time. We have another protest coming up in London. We are still waiting on the details for that. another protest that is confirmed in the city of London, in the United Kingdom. We are calling for more protests. For those of you from the Scandinavia, we'll be happy to hear from you about a protest that will take place at the same time as other global protests that are taking place. So, those of you who have the details, please circulate them. If anybody at Block 13, and Marie, if you're there, if you could just write down those protests and their dates in one message, we will pin it up here. So we have those protests, and those protests are intended to be Block 13 going to UNHCR itself. We are going to represent our siblings at Block 13 at the UNHCR to air out their views and talk about their plight. Because letters have not worked, none of us, hardly anybody has been responded to with everything that we have put out there. We have documentation of violations. Nobody is asking the refugees about these violations. So we are calling upon all of you individuals and human rights organizations to join these protests. But before the protests, we ask you to donate to Block 13. We have run out of funds because we are having a lot of people. There is a typhoid and malaria outbreak at Block 13. And we are finding ourselves taking people every day to hospital, and many have been hospitalized also. So we are running out of funds, and I request you to donate to the Block 13 official fundraiser page. It is on my Facebook page. And that is a fundraiser for Block 13 in particular, for their upkeep, well-being, sanitation, health, and other necessities. I thank you guys at Block 13 for everything you do in leading us in this. And I thank all the first responders, all the team of therapists, Helen, Dr. Miller, the various, like, there's so many. One of these days I'm going to read out the list of therapists that we have. It is a global movement. The list of therapists that are doing their rounds, counseling the very traumatized siblings of ours at Block 13. A special thank you to Babs Kane, to Nancy Casey, to Chauncey Dandridge in New York, who have actually, Georgine Ross, who have actually worked hard in helping us coordinate those protests in the various cities. I thank all the donors, all those who are giving, even if it's $5, to the GoFundMe page for Block 13. We thank you so much. We are very grateful. Now, I'm bringing on somebody from Block 13. Benon, send in your request for somebody at Block 13 so that we can hear what is happening on the block. In the meantime, I repeat that we have global protests happening on September 1st. The UNHCR has remained silent, and right now we are asking the world to stand with us publicly, openly, at UNHCR offices across the world to request for the immediate evacuation of LGBTQ refugees from Kakuma camp, where they are not safe. You will hear from updates that we've already lost a life in Kenya. Somebody committed suicide in Nairobi at the UNHCR offices, and nothing has been done, really. And people have been silenced. And I think that somebody, maybe not even LGBT, but a refugee who has recently been carried from Nairobi to Kakuma, also committed suicide yesterday morning in Kakuma. I'm thinking that that information is confirmed now. But yeah, there is silence. The UNHCR will only talk about dialogue taking place, but LGBT refugees are not involved in that dialogue, at least not Block 13, painting a very nice picture. But if people are committing suicide, we cannot remain silent. If people are being cut, if people are being beaten, if people are being raped, sexual assaults on the rise, We cannot remain silent. And so I'll bring on Block 13. Good lighting. Let us hear what is happening there. Yes, Gilbert.
Hey, Victor.
So good to see you again. Gilbert is the latest spokesperson, one of the spokespeople, one of the key spokespeople of Block 13 in Kakuma Camp. They are very organized, being represented as a very disorganized group, but they are very organized. Yes, Gilbert, welcome to this show today.
Yes, Victor. Thank you very much.
Thank you too.
For yet another opportunity to speak to the world, to inform them of our ongoing agony, our ongoing misery.
Yes.
Victor, you might have seen a video yesterday of a gentleman who was blatant in his threats. He assured us that he's going to ban us. We don't know whether he's going to do that while we're asleep.
It was a threat. We saw it on the video.
Yes, it was a threat that was made in anger and one that cannot be taken lightly. We have already had more than one incident where they have set our shelters ablaze. So if somebody comes out in broad daylight and says, I'm going to burn you up, now that is Kakuma that we have been telling people about. Of course, they will look for the most opportune time to do the damage. Now, this is what we tell UNHCR. Somebody comes to your compound and assures you that it's going to, put you on fire. And for what? Just because you live next to them?
And he was committing a crime, but because that was a crime. But he also blatantly said, you can call the police if you want. And I think this is because nothing is done. They are never brought to book for what they do.
Yes, Victor, I'm losing you a bit. He was very blatant. He said, if you want, we are not scared of the police. We are no longer scared of the police. And I think it makes sense, Victor, if you think about it. What's there to be scared of? They have done all this havoc and they have not been brought to book. So why would he not be that blazing? Why would he not be blatant? Why would he not be arrogant in his threatening? You see, that's what we have been, that parent on the part of the perpetrators of this kind of gross violations of human rights is an encouragement for them. Every time there is no clear punishment for them, every time there is no deliberate effort to deter them from doing this, it's an encouragement to the transphobes and homophobes to continue to attack us. That's why a man has the guts to come to our compound and tell us that I'm going to burn you up and I'm not even scared of police. Now that sums up the situation of the refugees, LGBTIQ refugees in Kakuma. It's that. We are there for the picking. Anybody who wants to attack will attack, as long as it suits them.
And have there been other threats before yesterday in the recent few days on LGBTQ refugees?
Sorry, Victor, I didn't get that question very well. But I suppose you asked, have there been any other threats?
In the recent few days, apart from the one yesterday?
Yes, Victor. Can you hear me now?
We hear you very clearly.
These threats, they may not have been made directly in a compound, but they are made upon the many other occupants of this place, the many other members of Block 13. As we go to purchase things, as we go to get items on the shop, as we go to fetch water, the threats have never stopped, Victor. And they will not stop. You see, all Kakuma wants is to see us out of their place. They believe we do not belong here. And that's they resist our presence. And they have made their statement very clear. It's upon those responsible to take the threats and the statements made in way of attacks upon us as serious as they are. Just if slightly ahead, you'll be listening to stories of these kinds of attacks, even some that go way back. You know, we have people here who are going to talk to you that have been attacked, even as long as way back as 2 years, and nothing has been done to protect them. Now, when you hear somebody saying that the LGBTQ persons are doing this, it shows lack of knowledge. These are people speaking from ignorance. They are not different from the homophobes who attack us for being sexually different. They're the same. If you can stand in London, in the UK, in England, and say that this is not true, these people are not suffering, you're as ignorant as the homophobe who thinks being sexually different is a crime. Kakuma is a monster. But I think we have more monsters than Kakuma itself. If you have the power to make a change, even if you're making a change in the lives of 2 people, and you withhold that power, you're a bad monster. In my view, you're worse. Because it means the power invested in you has been abused. You could have done good and you withhold the good. Victor, today I came to talk to my brothers and sisters. I came to talk to the children of the rainbow. A lot has been said to the UNHCR, and they continue to remain obstinate. But this time, my message is to the children of the rainbow. The rainbow is only a rainbow if it has its colors arranged in their order. If you take away some of those colors, it's no longer rainbow. And when you have those colors standing side by side, they make the rainbow. That's the beauty that we behold. We are the children of the rainbow. If they attack us in Kakuma, they are attacking the same family. If our bodies hang lifeless in front of UNHCR's office, it is part of your family. As our sisters are raped, as we are battered, you should feel the pain. We are one. That's why we are symbolized by the rainbow. If they attack us, they attack you. If they attack you, they attack us. The solidarity of the colors of the rainbow is the solidarity that we should enjoy as children of the rainbow. That, the beauty that you behold in the rainbow as colors stand side by side, this is what we need. This is what has helped us survive centuries of hate. Communities that are built on hatred, workplaces that are intolerant. That's how we have survived. We stand by one another. That's why we use the rainbow, a symbol of love, a symbol of hope. And the unity of colors symbolizes our unity in our varieties. If we suffer from Kakuma, the physical distance should not matter. You should stand with us. We stand with you. That's why we are the children of the rainbow. The rainbow has been used by very important figures in history. Desmond Tutu used it. Nelson Mandela used it. And we use it for a reason, because we are one. It's time to stand together, just like the colors of the rainbow. We stand by one another. If we protest in Kakuma, protest in London, protest in Geneva, protest wherever you are, we are one family. We stand by one another through thin and thick. We never abandon one another. UNHCR might not act, but at least we should be seen to have the solidarity of the rainbow. The love of the rainbow should be evident. If you are aware that the children of the rainbow have been persecuted through the centuries, how come you don't believe we're being persecuted? You owe it to us. You owe it to the brotherhood. We die together. We live together. If it wasn't for the solidarity that exists among us, we would have perished a long time ago. I call upon all the children of the rainbow and the friends of the children of the rainbow. Let's stand together. Let's conquer evil. Let's conquer persecution. Let's conquer indifference on the part of UNHCR and its partners. Let's stand and be counted side by side, just like the colors of the rainbow. There is nothing we cannot accomplish if we stand together. We can move mountains, we can move institutions, we can move governments, as long as we stand together. Let's have the unity, let's have the love, let's have the solidarity, for God's sake. Now is the time, Victor. We call upon all of you, wherever you are. Please, protest with us. We beg you a second time. Protest with us. Be a part of the rainbow solidarity. Let's show the world that we actually care for one another, that we actually care for the safety of one another. We can never have a better time than this. Now is the time. Victor, my message today was for the brotherhood.
Yes, they've had you. They've had you, and please repeat for them where the protests are confirmed already.
So far, we have a protest confirmed in New York City on the 1st of September. That is 4 to 6 p.m. We have a protest confirmed in Ottawa, in Canada. We have a protest confirmed in San Francisco, in the USA. And we have a few others in the offing, including one in the UK, whose details we should have very shortly.
Thank
Let's
you very
color
much.
the world. And thank you, Victor. Now, Victor.
You mentioned yes, please.
Yes. Now, there are some people who think that Kakuma has just started attacking, or even does not attack.
Just
Today,
hold on a little bit,
we have
Gilbert. Just hold there for a second. I want to let all those that have noted down the dates and places for the protests that we're requesting you to circulate that information in your networks. And also for those of you who would like, please inbox me your email addresses so that I send you the documentation report that we have for Block 13 of most of the violations that have happened. Some of the violations, actually, we cannot document all of them. There are so many, so that you share them with the press and you can use them for your advocacy purposes. So please, you inbox me or inbox Gilbert, and we will send you that report. Thank you. You can go on, Gilbert.
Yeah, thank you. Victor was saying that today we have a special person here. She's ought to be a mother of most of us here. But even she has not been spared by the cruelty of Kakuma. For what? For being associated with LGBTQs. In her own words, let her tell her story. Rose Ojururu Oruru.
Hi, Victor. How
Yes,
are
Mama
you?
Rose. I'm good.
Fine,
How are you doing, Mama
fine.
Rose? Thank you for being a good mother to those LGBT people.
Yes, I'm not good exactly. It's very painful. I don't know where to start it really. Me, I was abused in 2018. It was the 26th, the 27th, the day when the first LGBTI went away and I remained in Kakuma. They came and attacked me, really. It was terribly
Why, Mom?
bad. Because I'm a Ugandan. Because I'm a Ugandan. They attacked me. They raped me. They beat me with my sons. Oh God. It was really. They raped me really. I don't know how many people. There are about 5 people in my house. When they entered inside, they took me to the hospital. I didn't know that I'm in the hospital. When they took me to the hospital, I stayed there 2 days. My children were stolen behind me. Victor, up to now, I'm not good. They beaten me, they nasty me for good knife. One of them is here. Here. This one, another one behind me. Another one is here. It was a female. And I was beaten to death. Even I didn't know that I'm in the hospital. So I didn't report the case very well. That those people raped me. But my son saw those people raping me really. It was very shameful with a boy of 18 years. Seeing people raping my mother really. After that, I report the case to police station. Police told me, gave me P3, and they didn't take me to the hospital again. They didn't do follow-up anymore. Up to now, they didn't do follow-up. I went to field post about 10 times. I started going there January 23. No one came to my home. I went to do follow-up. All these officers in this Kakuma, I have their letters at home. I have what they call P3. I don't know whether they are 10. I don't know. More than 10 even. No one came to my home up to now. No one came. And I'm just there with my children. I'm there with my boys. These boys are still small. They're roughly 18 years. Some are 16 years. These boys are the one who are struggling. When they come, they're still coming. Even yesterday, they beat me. They told me to go back to block 13. Yesterday, even right 13, where our Uganda is there. Here is not your area really. Really, can't say anything else. Nothing has happened to me since that day up to now. No one came to me. No one came to me. You know, very little we had to say. Sorry for me, no one came. You had called me in the office, asking me how did they do, what happened, how we are going to do follow-up up to now. I haven't seen anyone coming to my home doing follow-up, doing what? But they're still sending me up to now. Yesterday, I went to police station today. It was around 7 with my daughters. They are doing for us this. You Ugandans, you know only this. You know only this. You know only this. We shall do your girls like this. Even my daughter is here. She can tell you. Even my sister is here. They can tell you the truth. They're doing for us this. Go to block 13. Go to block 13. That is your area. My sister here is the one who helped me when they are trying to beat me. My sister is the one who pushed me. Take me back to my home. Cross the fence. Because we are Ugandans. We are Ugandans. We are sodoming people. With me, I don't know what is the meaning of sodomy. I came here in 2012 up to now. 2012 up to now. Nothing has happened to me. Victor, really, you are helping us. Please, you are a human right. Please. We are really bad off in Kakuma. People are doing for us like this. Even my boys, they can't go to school. They can't walk. The footballers, if they go, they did like this. They did like this to them. So we are not in peace, really.
Mama Ross, I'm so sorry. You.
Let her tell you the story in Uganda. She knows Luganda. Songa.
We got it. We got the story, guys. We got the story.
You got the story, really.
We got the story. Just to summarize for our friends who might not have got it. Mama Rose Ujuluru is in Kakuma camp. She's not LGBT, but
I'm not
she's been very supportive. Kakuma people, I'm gonna invite you again. Benon, send a request again. Just for us to understand this story. This is Kakuma camp. This Mama Rose is reporting, and by the way, her story is one of the stories that I have, with the help of other global activists, submitted to the UNHCR. She is saying she has been, first of all, she's not LGBT. And this is how bad it is. The reason she is suffering is because of her association with LGBT people, because she has supported and protected them when they're under attack or when they're hungry. She first helped the ones that UNHCR evacuated in 2018 and early 2019. When they evacuated them, she was left there. When they left, she was attacked by homophobes in the camp. Friends, she was gang raped in front of her children. She was gang raped. She was being punished for being there for LGBTQ people. She was being punished for hiding and saving the lives of LGBTQ refugees who were under attack. So she was brutally raped in front of her children. She was taken to hospital. She reported the case to the police. Several times she has reported. To date, nobody has followed up on her case. She inquires about the situation of her case. Nobody has followed up. The UNHCR has never followed up on her case. She is reporting of attack yesterday. She is not LGBT, but because she has protected or fed LGBT people, she's under attack too. The reason she was raped by a gang of people brutally in front of her children is because she helped LGBTQ refugees. She says her children do not even go to school because at the school she's known to be one of those people who support LGBTQ refugees. UNHCR, this is unacceptable. This is unacceptable, and we shall not remain silent. We will not stop until our voices are heard, until all these people who are in danger without protection in Kakuma camp are taken out of that camp. It is their human right to be safe. It is a human right to be safe. To be protected is a human right. The UNHCR talks about COVID-19 being a challenge. That's one of the reasons that people cannot even be taken out of the camp to safety. But the same UNHCR a week ago brought people, refugees, more refugees, LGBT refugees from Nairobi to Kakuma, using the same road that it would use to evacuate the endangered ones from the camp to Nairobi. Instead of protecting people and taking them out of that terrible place, highly homophobic and transphobic Kakuma camp, they are actually bringing more amidst what they call a dangerous time to travel. And on top of that, threatening activists who are speaking out. Yes, those who are speaking out, some of them have been threatened by UNHCR officials, by the police, by even some human rights organizations. Why? Let us get out and protest on September 1st in New York City, in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada, in London, in the United Kingdom, in San Francisco, here in the US. And for our friends in Sweden, if you can protest, that would be great. In Australia, that would be great. All over the world where there can be a protest, there are UNHCR offices all over. Let those who don't know what is happening, and there are more stories. There are more stories from Kakuma. There are more stories from Kakuma. There are more stories from Kakuma. Thank you, Mama Rose. Yes. Oh, thank you, Mama Rose. And we hold you here. And we still stand with you, and a lot of people out there are standing with all of you. Mama Rose, thank you so much for sharing your story. Strength to you.
Thank you.
We stand
Thank
with
you.
Yes,
Thank
we
you.
share. We open our,
Me also,
and
I'm
thank you.
focusing you now. I'm looking you now because I don't have someone to help me. I don't have even any relative. Those boys are my relative because they're coming from Uganda. That is why they're killing me. They're abusing me. I don't have any relative here. I have only my children. Even my husband died here in 2017. I remained alone with my children. And when these boys start coming to my home, that is where my problem started. But I can't chase them because they're my people. I don't have any Uganda here. These are my people. I don't know whether they're what or what me. I don't care. I'm a mother. I'm a mother looking them as my sons and my daughters. You leave me, let me die. Because they can't protect me. I told them even to take me to the jail. Because in the jail, I'll have a what? I'll have a rest and I'll have a peace. No one will come there to look for me. But outside here, even yesterday, they were beating me because I'm a Ugandan. And they're doing like this. In fact, really, really, Victor, I'm behind you, really. I don't know whether you will say what or what. I'm ready. I'm ready. If I say that, let them take me to jail. Lodwa. I told them to take me to jail instead of taking me to their protection. I don't want their protection because it is now 2 good years. I'm threatening. People are coming to my home during night, knocking the door. They don't steal anything, but coming just to disturb me. They won't even mind one of my daughter get lost because he's tired of disturbance. I remain with only one girl now. All my children ran away because of the disturbance. They said, really, what will I say to you? What can I tell you now? What can I tell you, really, my son? I'm badly off. And I can't chase these boys to come at my home. They're my sons. And I love them. If I see them, I just see Ugandan. If I see them, I see my children. I see my relatives. I see my brothers. The daughter of my sisters. These boys. I can't just see them. And I can't talk bad to them. But if they want me to die, let me die. No problem. I'm not the first. Even my husband died. And we bury him here. I remain with only the children. Now these boys, if they come at my home, they're my children. I just got pleased. If I have wood with koroga, we drink. And they hate to me a lot. I can't sleep without food if they're around. They can't buy matoke. They gave me something. I just got matoke and we cook. We eat with them. They don't fear. Really. Everything is yours. I beg down to you. Help us to leave this area. If you can. I have nothing to tell you, my son. And God bless you. God bless you, my son.
Thank you, Mama Rose. Thank you, Mama Rose. Tran Claire. Hey, Claire.
Tell Victor.
Hey, Claire, how are you doing? Claire is a trans woman. Friends, Claire is a trans woman in Kakuma camp at Block 13. How are you doing?
Victor, you know, as you see, that is our mom. We respect her. And some people think that attacks have just started, but just hear from her. She has been here for a long time. Starting from 2012 up to now, she has been attacked, harassed, and some of her kids disappeared. Victor, started
Yes.
Nairobi to reception up to where I am right now. It has been a battle for me and my members. While in reception, Victor, many people discriminated me because of what I am, because of my sex gender identity. Victor, whenever people see me, look at me, someone get a stone from anywhere, start stoning me because of the way I dress, because the way I put on my makeup, because they even say that I spoil their children, starting from reception. Not only sleeping, not only refugees, but even the country member, the owner of the countries, because we had some people inside working there. And we reached to the time of relocating us to our block. It was block 9. We were taken outside. It was on 21st January 2019. Reaching in the community, when those, I cannot even, let me speak out their names, they are Sudanese. When they saw me, they started threatening me, and they started telling me that they don't want to see my head on me. They wanted to see my head rolling because of the way I was. And they started saying that today night, you're not going to sleep in that house, you're dead.
We've lost Claire. Claire is a trans woman on block 13. She is telling us some of her stories. We'll be listening to a lot of stories as we gear up for the protests. Yeah, but earlier on it was Mama Rose Ojulu, who is like mother to these queer people on block 13. Trans Claire is a refugee, a trans woman. She is trying to share her story with us. Connection is really poor in Kakuma today. We were lucky earlier on, but we are losing that connection in Kakuma. We are losing the connection in Kakuma. In Kakuma. Benon, please send another request. As we wait for friends in Kakuma to return, I want to remind all of you who are in New York and surrounding areas, New York City, we have a protest there on September 1st, 4 to 6 p.m., 42nd Street. We have a similar protest, same time, in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada, 4 to 6. We have another protest in San Francisco on the same date, September 1st. And we have another protest that will be confirming very soon in London. September 1st is going to be protest day, global protest in support of our brothers and sisters and others on Block 13 in Kakuma Camp. But really, let us take this as a protest day to highlight the plight of LGBT refugees in Kenya, in Africa. This is what is happening. I've just been informed by Babs Kane that the protest in London is now confirmed. The protest in London is now confirmed. Friends in London, let us be there. And again, like I said, send me in my inbox, send me your email address, and I send you the documentation report of the human rights violations that people in Kakuma, especially Block 13, have faced. This documentation has reached the UNHCR. They've done nothing. The stories you're hearing that people are sharing here on the live show have been reported and nothing has been done. There's no follow-up, but they're just bringing more refugees, LGBT refugees in homophobic, transphobic Kakuma camp. Tran Claire, we would like to hear that story. If you could just get back and yes, and I've also been told that in Ottawa, as clarification, the protest is from 2 to 4 o'clock. It will take place while the staff at the UNHCR are. The protest is at 2 to 4 p.m. New York, 4 to 6 p.m. on 42nd Street, Manhattan. San Francisco, still another protest on September 1st. Those in San Francisco and surrounding areas, please be there. And now another protest has been confirmed in London. and we are calling for protests where there are major UNHCR offices, even small ones. We know that there's a major office in Sweden, Stockholm. If we can have a protest in Sweden, that would be great. We are also seeking a protest in Australia. We have a lot of support from there. If activists there could just organize for a protest, that would be great. It is time for the world to see what UNHCR is about, and still to ask it to evacuate people from Block 13, Kakuma Camp. All these protests are taking place at UNHCR offices in those cities that I have mentioned: New York, Ottawa, San Francisco, London. So far, that's what we have. And we are still listening to a story from Claire, a trans woman in Kakuma Camp who has faced a lot of abuse and human rights violations there. Yes, Claire, I'm glad that you're able to read. We cannot have Kakuma, I think, anymore. But you've heard the story from Mama Rose, who is not an LGBTQ person, does not belong to any of that people. She's not LGBT, and she's just a straight woman, a mother who has been supportive of LGBT people. Her association with LGBT people in Kakuma Camp has led to all the attacks, including rape. She was raped in front, in the presence of her children. At some point, the children could not stand it anymore and they ran away. She lost her children, but she also lost her husband in the camp. He was buried there in Kakuma. And she's there, she sees the LGBT refugees as her family. But she's being punished for bringing them close, for feeding them, for protecting them whenever they're being attacked. She was even attacked yesterday. These things are happening every day. We brought you a story here of 4 lesbians who were sexually assaulted, not about a month ago. There are just so many stories. So many stories out of Kakuma. We cannot keep accepting that the so-called success stories of the UNHCR are the story of everyone. Somebody committed suicide yesterday in Kakuma. Another LGBT person committed suicide in Nairobi at the UNHCR in the UNHCR compound. So there's no joke about this. We shall not be silenced. And I thank people who are joining the movement to support LGBT refugees. Like I have said, Kakuma is like the epicenter of this epidemic of homophobia and transphobia within directed towards the refugees. It's like epicenter. It's an epidemic what is happening there. But this thing stinks. It stinks for all LGBTQ refugees in Kenya, in Africa, and elsewhere. We receive reports from Iranian refugees in Turkey. It is filth. And we are all called to speak up for humanity. Come out and protest on September 1st. If you're not able to go there physically, we will be having some online protests too that we'll be announcing soon. But the world shall protest on September 1st. There will be protests in those 4 cities that have been confirmed so far. We have a typhoid and malaria outbreak on Block 13 in Kakuma. We ask you to please donate to the page on my Facebook page so that we are able to continue supporting our friends. We have some people still admitted. Trinidad, is your phone better? Yeah, we are having problems. Let me see if we have anybody else here that can show up. We are not able to. So I think that I'll be wrapping up this show very soon. But again, I would like to thank everybody who has joined this movement to support LGBT refugees. Sophia Rego, you say you can support online from Stockholm. Yes, we will be announcing how we are going to do our protests also online. So just to let all of you know that we have those physical protests, but there will be protests that everybody is able to protest. Everybody is able to reach out to the UNHCR publicly at that point, because we've all tried our level best to reach out to the UNHCR. There's been silence. I think that the response has been threats to some activists. There's been threats to some activists, some defenders of LGBTQ refugees. There've been threats from the UNHCR itself. There've been threats from the police in Kakuma. There've been threats all over. People are being told to shut up. People are being paid. We were told yesterday that there are people who are being paid to not report attacks. It is some kind of filth that is going on. It is a filth. A filth. It stinks, whatever is going on. That people can be shut up when they start to mention that somebody has committed suicide because of homophobia and suffering as an LGBTQ refugee. We cannot stand. Now we know. Now you know. A woman was raped by other refugees, homophobic refugees. She was gang raped. A woman who is straight was gang raped because she talks to LGBT people in the camp, because she feeds them, because she talks to them, because she protects them when there is an attack. A woman has lost her children. She has reported to the police. The UNHCR is aware, but up to now, there has been no follow-up of her case. That even yesterday, she was attacked. Yesterday, we watched a video of a Sudanese national looking in their eyes and telling them, I will burn you up. And it's a real threat, because in Kakuma, their houses, the houses of LGBTQ people, have been set ablaze. They've been set on fire. We have the footage. We have watched the action. This is not just stories that people tell, but we've been on live shows when people are being attacked. We've been here and asked, where is the police? These people are sleeping in the compound, outside, in the open air, with donkeys. Kakuma, please send in another request. Just show us. Show us. Show my friends and people who are watching us. Show them where you are right now. It is bedtime. I am sure they have already started laying their beds. They've started laying their beds outside in the compound. Claire.
Oh.
Claire.
Yes,
Show us
Victor.
what's happening around. Have people already laid their beds? The network is very poor in Kakuma right now, but you would have seen where they sleep. It is in the open air, what we call our back, like here in front of my house. That's where they put their beds and sleep. Yes, yesterday, but 2 days ago, we were on video with them, and a fleet of donkeys, scorpions, name it. This is a general problem in Kakuma camp. But at least some people are inside houses. These ones are sleeping outside. Children are sleeping outside. People don't have a right to sanitation. We just dug 2 latrines now because their latrine filled up, and probably that is where, and it was draining through into their houses. Probably that is where the typhoid is coming from. But that now that I'm mentioning typhoid, I ask you guys to donate to the GoFundMe page, because even as I speak right now, we have some of them in hospital on drips. Every day somebody's getting admitted. The connection in Kakuma is so poor. Imran Liam, I don't know, are you in Kakuma? Are you in Nairobi? If you're able to come online, please come. I had seen Purity page earlier on. Purity is not here anymore, but it looks like connection is ugly that side. Please show up for the protests in New York City, in Ottawa, in Canada, in San Francisco, in London, and online. On September 1st is a day for global protests. Global protests in support of our brothers and sisters in Kakuma camp. We are calling for the evacuation of members of Block 13 who are under constant attack from the homophobes and transphobes of Kakuma camp. It is a true story. It is real. Imran, Liam, I have invited you, but your phone keeps, I think it is your, I don't know what it is, but you cannot connect. For that matter, I'll leave on the Kuchu anthem from Uganda, performed by Brian and the TUK band. Brian's, thank you so much for this resourceful song that you have done for us. It's our theme right now, and we delight in it. Thank you so much. Greetings to all my Ugandan brothers and sisters, supporters. Karim Tambi, I've seen you. One of the People Power leadership. I have seen Patricia Namialo, another People Power leader. Thank you so much for the encouraging words that you have left us here. And thank you to all of you who have showed up today. Please share this video and share the protest information with everybody. Thank you to all the advocates around the world that are standing up. All the advocates around the world. I can't name all of you. Thank you so much to the leadership on Block 13 for what you're doing and coordinating these things. I thank all the first responders that are offering counseling to the refugees in Kakuma camp. Yes, we need our own counseling, because when they call the hotlines, they are being told to become straight in order to be safe. You know, we thank Kakuma Mission Hospital for treating the refugees with dignity. We thank other refugees and activists in Nairobi, Kenya, the few who have stood in solidarity with LGBT refugees on Block 13 in Kakuma. I thank all the donors who have given even just $5. $5 is enough money to get treatment for somebody in Kakuma for typhoid and malaria. $5. $5 is enough to treat somebody of typhoid and malaria. So please donate to our GoFundMe page on my Facebook page. The children of the rainbow flag, refugees in Kenya are not safe. Block 13 is under constant attack. So we have protests. We've organized protests in New York, in San Francisco, in Ottawa, Canada, and in London for September 1st. In New York, the protest is from 4 to 6 p.m. September 1st. In Ottawa, Canada, it's about 3 o'clock p.m. on September 1st. In San Francisco, I think it's 2 to 3 p.m. In London, we are yet to confirm the time, but all the protests are on September 1st. So it is the protests, it is the donations, it's the protests, it's the donations, it is the other advocacy efforts that are continuing. I want to tell you that together with the LGBT refugees on Kakuma camp, we've written advocacy letters to the UNHCR also. We have the protest in Ottawa. In Ottawa, organized by Nancy Casey, is from 2 to 4 p.m. September 1st. We've sent these documented stories to the UNHCR. We sent them to human rights commissions. We've sent them to resettling countries. The UNHCR has a documentation of all these reports that you're hearing. The threats continue in Kakuma camp, and that is why they need us behind them. Thank you, everybody. We'll be back either tomorrow or day after with yet more updates. And until then, thank you for watching the Victim Casa Show. Adios. Thank you.